Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 Sanderson Farms Championship. My name is Eric, and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying to thought from a lineup every single week. And we'll do that by taking a look at the bucket system, which will help us narrow down our player pools. If you're unfamiliar with the bucket system, I do have a video link in the description below. I'll send you to a video that explains all about it. And really, you only need to watch the first 5 minutes to really understand what it's about, but it is an 18-minute long video, so if you're interested in that, again, video link in the description below. Not only are we going to be taking a look at the bucket system, but we'll also take a look at the marquee tee times, which will help us find 2 to 3 golfers to anchor our lineups around. This has proven to be successful for me in the past, so I'm going to continue talking about it moving forward. Now, what I'm cutting out of these videos, basically because, like I said in the Fortnite Championship, I'm trying to make these videos as quick as possible. So I'll be cutting out the course information and tournament information segment that I typically do. I'm really just going to narrow in on the important stuff, which is, again, the bucket system as well as the marquee tee times. So in the matter, or in the sake of saving time, let's go ahead and get into this as quick as possible. We're going to start with some giveaways. I will be giving $40 away if we reach 500 subscribers at the end of the week. And if you want a chance to win $40, or if you want an entry into this giveaway, you got to be subscribed and you got to comment down below. So if you need a topic, just give me your 2 favorite golfers you're going to build your lineups around this week, and you get an entry into this giveaway. Now, if we don't reach 500 subscribers, I'm going to shave $10 off of it and rerun it next week and see if we can get, up to 500 subscribers then. So I know this is confusing to some people. I'm not looking for 500 new subscribers. I'm just looking to get to 500 for the channel, which means 47 new subscribers. And I continue to shave $10 off of the giveaway every single week until we either hit the goal or I shave enough money where the giveaway is worth $10. And then that's when I give away $10. So hopefully that's not confusing. Basically, if you want a better chance to win money, just constantly comment on any of the videos that I have. I shouldn't say constantly, you just got to do it once. Comment down below, participate on the channel. That's what I'm here to reward you guys for doing, is to participate on the channel. Now, a second giveaway that I'm doing is a prize picks giveaway. This is more of a rebate. If you sign up using the promo code SweetSpot and put $20 in your account, I will give you your $20 back. So I'm allowing you to play this for free if you use the promo code SweetSpot. Not only are you going to get $20 from me, but prize picks is going to match your deposit. So you don't have to put $20 in, but if you want to play this for free, you certainly can. And prize picks will give you another $20. So you'll have $40 in your account. And it'll only take you that sign up information and that initial deposit of $20. Again, there's a link, or if I didn't say this, there's a link in the description below. That'll get you straight to the sign up page. And it'll already populate that SweetSpot code for you. So you don't even have to do that. I highly encourage you guys to sign up using it. Now, I'm also providing a cheat sheet that I do every single week. If you, first of all, there's a description, or there's a link in the description below. That link, if you bookmark it, I update this every single week that there is a PGA Tour event. So you can always have this at your disposal if you save the link. And as always, go up to the file menu and make a copy. That way, while I go through this video, you can actually follow along with me and use the same filters that I do. If you don't make a copy, you can't use those filters. And also, if you want to mark this up however you like, making a copy will allow you to do that, because I just have it as read only. I don't want some bad actor coming in here and messing it up for everyone else. So that's why I have it as read only. So again, file menu, make a copy, it's yours. Bookmark the link, that way you can see these updates every single week. Now, I'm also providing the optimizer that I like to use for building lineups. It has all the bucket system information in that, so as we go through this video, I just have the maximums in here, but it will follow the same logic that I'm talking to you guys. I literally make lineups the same way that I'm talking to you about what types of golfers you want in your lineups. So I'm not feeding you, BS. I'm not blowing smoke, nothing like that. I practice what I preach. So you guys can have this information. It has the marquee tee times loaded in here, all of the golfers, their prices, and also the metric that I use. I do have a video on how to use this optimizer in the description of this video. I have them in the description of all my videos, by the way. Yeah, if you're interested in this, again, you got to be subscribed to the channel, comment down below, and then you're going to have to email me. Contact information right there, sweetspotdfs@gmail.com. Again, I want to reward those that participate on the channel. It took me a lot of time to build this optimizer. Now I use it every single week, so I don't really have to put more into it, but it took me a while to get here. So I don't want to just give it away for people who don't appreciate what I do. So if you want it, participate, and I will send it to you. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this thing. We're going to start with the bucket system and go straight to the last year buckets. So if you're on the cheat sheet, you can go to the bucket system page down here. I've loaded up the same information that I'll be going over. Now, I do have additional tabs here that I'm kind of playing around with that you guys don't have access to, and that's okay. You don't quite need this just yet. Again, it's more of a trial. It's for me to practice with. But anyways, while you have the cheat sheet open, go ahead and put that filter on it, and then go clear out all of the buckets that are currently selected, and just go to last year. Now, the one way to read this is this max projection column and minimum projection column is all that you really have to care about. Now, there are more pieces of information that you can look at, more data that you can look at, which I'm not going to say is bad or not, but I shouldn't say that. If you want to look at that stuff, like, you know, the frequency of optimal lineups for each of these buckets, top 5 frequencies, top 20 frequencies, you certainly can. I'm not going to waste my time on that, though. We're just looking at these projections and going from there. So this last week bucket, or the last year bucket, sorry. How it reads is in this max projection column, it says 1.72. Now, the rule is to round up. This whole column you want to round up. So 1.72 rounds up to 2, 1.06 rounds up to 2 as well. Now, when it comes to the minimum projection, we always round down. But I have another rule that goes with this. As you can see, this is 1.03. You round down, it's 1. But if the maximum projection isn't 2 or greater, the minimum projection just automatically becomes 0. I kind of want a 2-point gap between them. So because the max projection is only at 2, the minimum projection falls to 0. And I only do it this way because in the past, I've noticed that when you have too small of a gap, it's a bit too narrow and it's hard to hit the buckets. It's hard to accurately pick golfers from the buckets. So therefore I don't do it. 0 to 2 for these last year ones, those are golfers who top 20'd this event. So the range that you see here is the placement point, or the placement points. So 1 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, so on and so forth. Again, I have a video explaining all about this, so I'm not going to continue to do this throughout the video. Take a look at that. But basically, you want 0 to 2 last year 1s, 0 to 2 last year 2s, 0 to 1 last year 3s, and 0 to 1 last year 4s. So far, nothing that would indicate an anchor bucket to choose from, which means at least one golfer from the bucket. But your last year 5s, which are missed cuts, and your last year 6s, which are did not plays, that did not play the last year. Now, the did not plays could be rookies for this year that have not played this event or really any event on the PGA Tour. We'll get into course history, and I'll show you those golfers that have 0 course history at this event, which could be rookies. Some of them might not be, but a large majority of them are. It's up to you to figure that out. You know, again, use the cheat sheet, kind of cross-reference, you know, which golfers didn't play last year as well as don't have course history. Those are basically your rookies and some veterans that just have not played this event before, ever. Yeah. Up to you to take a look at that. Again, it's available with the cheat sheet. There isn't a bucket that I really care for all that much. This last year one, it does have a frequency rate of 100%, which means there's been at least one golfer from this bucket that has finished inside the top 10 every single year. And I don't know if I worded that correctly. I can't replay it in my head, but let me say it again. A golfer with a top 20 finish from the year before has finished inside the top 10 every single year. And this goes back to 2015. So it's up to you guys. There are 15 golfers in that bucket this week. Again, 0 to 2, but maybe it's a good place to start. You know, because 15 golfers, that's not a lot. Easier to choose from. Find one that you like. Maybe anchor around that guy. Let's move on to course history. We're skipping last week because that was the President's Cup, and I don't include that with the bucket system. So, and it would be really difficult to anyways, because there's only a max of 12, 14 golfers, something like that, that would be eligible for that bucket. So it's just best to skip it. Maybe in the future I'll include it in the bucket system, but as of right now, I don't think it's that important. So we're going to the course history buckets. Course history 1, golfers with that 1 to 20 course history average. So this could be golfers that might have only one event under their belt. It could be golfers who have 2 or 3 but have nothing but top 20 finishes, or maybe some top 5 finishes mixed in with the top 30, something like that. They'd be in this bucket, but there are only 4 golfers from there. So not anything to really get too concerned about. We're looking at 0 to 1. You only want 0 to 1 golfers from that bucket. Course history 2, now we're bumping it up. You want somewhere between 1 to 3. Course history 3s, we want somewhere between 1 to 4. And then course history 5s down to course history, or course history 4 down to course history 6. It's 0 to 2 for each of those. So it's really up to you guys. What do you like the most? If you do find golfers that you like out of here, again, I would just limit how many golfers you would select from it. And if you're kind of curious as to the success rate to the bucket system, if you haven't been on this channel before, it's 93% correct. So on average, I see 33 out of 36 buckets correct every single week with these projections. So it's up to you guys to figure out which 3 are incorrect, but I follow these kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I follow them blindly, I guess. I have faith in them. I have trust in them. So moving on to the next one, we want to be looking at recent form buckets. Now my recent form goes back the last 7 weeks. So if we're just to take a look at 2023, this includes 3 off weeks. So we have 3 off weeks with 4 regular season events. 3 of them are from last season, technically. And then we obviously have the Fortinet Championship. I use SWO for Safeway Open. All of my events are, you know, it's a historical abbreviation from an older event. So that's the only thing. But this is the Fortinet Championship. Like I said, last 7 weeks, you can see 7 columns up here. That creates the recent form average, which then feeds into the buckets here. And with that being said, we want 0 to 2 recent form 1s, 1 to 3 recent form 2s, same with recent form 3s, 1 to 3 there. 1 to 2, which is really 0 to 2, recent form 4s, recent form 5s, and then recent form 6s, 0 to 1. Now we usually see 40 golfers in that bucket, but this week we only have 17. Majority of our buckets are golfers who missed the cut. Who have a missed cut, I should say, recent form average. Which with as many golfers in that bucket, not a very high projection. So probably just stay away from that. Nothing really screams that you want to play anybody from here. I think this is probably one of the most equal balanced recent form buckets I've ever seen. So what matters more at this event, recent form or course history? Well, I would say course history. Having some course history, anything between 1 to 60 on average. I mean, we could argue what's good, but just having some course history is definitely better than coming into this with a really good recent form. So keep that in mind. Nothing is more than 3. And I mean, we basically have 2 anchor buckets, I guess, if you want to call it that, in recent form 2 and recent form 3. You want to grab some golfers from each of those buckets. All right, so now that we've gone through the core 4 buckets, if we want to call it that, the 4 original buckets, now we move on to the miscellaneous ones, which would be your strokes gained bucket and salary bucket. Strokes gained 1, like I said, check out the video that explains about the bucket system, because I talk about this bucket a little bit more in detail there. It's worth being in detail because it is kind of complicating. But if you're just looking at the cheat sheet, I have each of these buckets over here on the columns next to their names. You can see which golfers are, you know, what bucket, in what bucket. For strokes gained 1, we want 0 to 2. Strokes gained 2, 0 to 2. Strokes gained 3, which is basically your ball strikers that are bad at putting. 2 to 4 golfers from this bucket. Probably when it comes to projections, the best bucket that I've seen, just going over the bucket system. 1 to 3 strokes gained 4. That one's really close to being 0 to 2. And then 0 to 1, strokes gained 5, and strokes gained 6. So, yeah. Basically just telling you, you want pretty decent golfers that have, you know, good off the tee as well as approach. I mean, these 3 buckets are all positive off the tee buckets. And just with your maximum projections, we would have 8 golfers that you'd want to put in your lineup. Obviously, we can only put 6. But if we even with minimum projections, we have 0 here. We technically have 0 here, but you can almost count that as 1. And then we have 2. So like we almost have 4. You want to select at minimum you almost want 4. But honestly, 2 or 3 I think is best. So definitely anchor your lineups around strokes gained 1, 2, and 3 golfers, and then sprinkle in the rest. It could be from, you know, these buckets again. Or you dive down to the strokes gained 4, maybe kind of stay away from strokes gained 5 and strokes gained 6. Now, the last one of these buckets is our salary buckets. And obviously, DraftKings, FanDuel, all of those companies, they price the best golfers at the top. So it really is no, you know, I shouldn't even put it that way. My projections, I think, are pretty decent. So 0 to 2 10K golfers, there are only 4. Chances of one of them being inside the top 10 is pretty good. 0 showing inside the top 10 is also kind of high as well. Now, there is a 66% frequency rate, which I'm thinking we only have 3 years of data that has salaries for this event. And 2 of those years, we have at least, you know, for 2 of those years, we had at least 1 golfer in the 10K range being inside the top 10. Which sounds terrible, but it doesn't concern me. 2 out of 3 is pretty decent. And the 10K golfers this year, I mean, Sahith Theegala and Sam Burns, I kind of like those guys. Just to give you a heads up as to our 10K golfers: Burns, Theegala, JT Poston, and Russell Henley. I think out of these guys, we're going to have 1 guy inside the top 10. So starting with the 10K golfer, I think, is a really smart idea this week. I have no issues with it. Moving to the 9K range, 0 to 2. Not a high success rate. We actually have less golfers in it than we typically do. Whereas like the 10K range, you know, 4.67 on average. So yeah, we're right in that ballpark, but we're a full point below the average here, which just really decreases the likelihood we find a golfer inside the top 10 from here. And if we just take a look at the 9Ks, I mean, Denny McCarthy, yeah, decent. I like Montgomery, Scott Stallings, Keegan Bradley. These are all solid golfers. Like, I really like Davis Riley this week. I could also make the case for Emiliano Grillo. And I mean, yeah, it's all high quality golfers. So I actually probably would prefer to choose at least 1 golfer from here. Using that 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 model, think is really key at this event. 8K, very similar to our 10K as well as our 9K, basically 0 to 2 for each one of these buckets. And then 7K is 1 to 3. The high 6K, so this is 6.5K and above, 0 to 2, and then 0 to 1, 6.4 and below. I think it's just a traditional week where you go 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, and I don't even think you blink about it. Again, you can, vary those that make up. If you wanted to drop from a 10 down to another 9, that will allow you to move a 6 up to a 7. Like that, I have no issue with that. Or maybe you move an 8 up to a 9 and we have 3, 9. I don't know. Up to you guys. I think you can be pretty confident doing a 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. All right, let's go ahead and get straight into our marquee tee times. Just for those that are unaware of it, I use basically a group ranking based off of the SweetSpot ranks that I use. And the SweetSpot ranks, if you go to the cheat sheet and you scroll all the way to the right, you're going to see the point totals that go into the rankings and what I use. Bent grass, this is just, it's Bermuda. It should just say grass 1, which is just Bermuda grass this week. I use all of these stats to create a point total, and then that point total, like I kind of run a formula on a different spreadsheet that puts all these guys in a rank order for their groups. So if you were to actually sort this out and you just look at every one of these groups, so the first one, Thigala, Mullinax, and Luke List, their total SweetSpot rank is 38. And then we scroll down to English, Power, and Woodland, there's a 69. And the one right below them is actually 70. Stallings, Keegan Bradley, and Kevin Streelman. So just so you guys are aware, that's how I rank my groups, and that's how we come to our marquee tee times. The Fortinet Championship was actually disappointing. I don't even know if we had one that was in the marquee tee time to finish in the optimal lineup, but we had 2 that were in the GPP winning lineup. So I always say you want to select 2 to 4 golfers from the ones that I have selected up here, because we typically see 2 to 4 golfers in the optimal lineup from the marquee tee times every single week. I think we're at like an 85% hit rate when there's at least 2 golfers from marquee tee times in the optimal lineup. So basically what I'm trying to say is find 2 or 3 golfers from these marquee tee times. Again, I include that right here, and I include it in this is the optimizer, by the way. I include in the optimizer. I also included in the rules that you want to select at least 2. So it's already built in with the optimizer. And if I'm being honest, let me add one more thing. So you want to find 2 to 4 golfers, anywhere between 2 to 4 golfers from the top 7 groups that I have. Another rule is don't select 2 golfers from the same group. So if you like Sahith Thigala and Trey Mullinax, or say Trey Mullinax and Luke List, I wouldn't suggest it. The hit rate is very low, especially for the optimal lineup, as well as GPP winning lineups, or even just top 10s in general. Just select 1 from a group and then go down to another one. So let's say you like Sahith Thigala, pairing him up with Gary Woodland would actually make sense because they are in different groups, and it's a pretty decent pairing to put together. I'll leave it up to you who you like. My early leans, I really like Sam Burns. Like I have no issue going with Sam Burns. And I also have no problem like pairing him up with any of the other guys up here, like even a Mullinax or a Harris English. Adam Svensson is a great pick in my opinion. So yeah, I don't mind selecting 2 or 3 golfers from up here. Probably not going to be 4, but 2 or 3 is fine. So we got it 24 minutes. I'm going to end this video right now. These are my marquee tee times. Sorry we didn't get to the optimizer, but like I said, I want to keep these videos as short as possible. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.